Episode 4 of the RV Revolution will take on a different twist as Sheila drags me from here to Kingdom Come, attempting to gather all of the finishes needed for this big build of the spacecraft.
We are now nearing the end of October, and we still have not begun the building process. We need to order key components and find the suppliers that can come through in time. Stay tuned to see how it all unfolds.
It's time for a change. You can't grow by staying the same. It's our contribution for this revolution, building community. It's just one step closer to where we're meant to be. It's not just a way of life, it's a family.
What is this even going to look like? That becomes the question. If I'm viewing this and watching, you're probably sitting there like I am, and you're like, okay, how is this gonna look? What colors did they choose? Why did they choose to go this direction? Where did they pull the inspiration from? So I'm going to pose that question to Sheila, because she's done many different things, and designing a church wing and doing our kitchen remodel and coming up with different ideas, and they've all turned out amazing. So here we are building this spacecraft. Where did you get your inspiration from, especially since we've been on the road 3 years?
Well, that was the beauty of it is when you're building something custom, you get to choose all those different things, from paint colors to the finishes, and all the design elements in between. We really kind of lean more towards, I guess it's considered a transitional. It's not modern or contemporary, it's this transitional period right now. I like the whites, the grays, the blacks, wood, pops of color. And as we were like looking at all the RVs for the last several years at the RV shows, there's just an idea here or idea there. You're like, oh, that was smart. And with creating something that's custom, you can take all of those different ideas and just kind of merge them together to how it just makes sense.
I agree. And when we were going to the different shows, the Tampa show for the last 3 years, we would see all these different things emerge. And I came up with an idea once where I was like, I just want a secret door to go into, or things like that. And then we stumbled upon the one RV that you open it up and it had all this stuff behind the fireplace and the TV. We really liked that idea.
That was a Riverstone Legacy.
Is that what it was?
Yep, I remember that was in there, and I loved that idea. It's like, ooh, that's good usable storage space that so it's going to be behind our TV. But I also like the height that we get from using these wood panels right now, and it's actually an acoustical panel. It's very trendy right now, and I think that'll help with sound absorption inside of the RV.
That's true.
As well as just kind of
it gives that texture.
Yeah, it gives that texture, that wood element that I'm looking for. I think the hard thing is to remember is that this is not only our home, this is my office, it's your editing studio.
Yes. So you can see this wonderful video right now.
Plus it's also like an event production trailer, like where stuff has to go out. So we needed to incorporate, and we want to have space when our kids come to visit, our grandkids. So we had to incorporate all of those ideas into how can we make all of that happen in this amount of square footage.
And the crazy part is that also comes into play, like from even like the couch, where the couch could be a queen bed, or the back area could pull down. You incorporated all those things just for our family, but not only that, community space. And I think it's coming along well. I don't know, because we have to order a bunch of stuff, so I guess we'll just see how it plays out.
It is. It's like you have all these pieces, and you hope when you put them all together that it's going to look good. I think so. The hard part is there's like, it's a 10,000 puzzle piece.
Yeah, it's in a box, and it might be missing one piece, and you might get to the end and go, how'd that one piece go?
Yeah, it doesn't work together, but I think it will. We just had to incorporate everything together.
Now, this grandiose idea for this LED wall. Why would you even think of such a thing, Todd? And I believe it came down to when we were having an event, and then I was thinking it would be really neat to be outside and be able to just have words on a screen or show a video or something that we could do for large crowds.
Right.
And then that came into play as like, okay, well, how do you find an LED wall, and where do you go to look for an LED wall, and who sells LED walls? This became like a hinge, like I didn't even know how much is an LED wall. Like we had to drink from a fire hose learning pixel sizes and can it be outside and how is it mounted, and it was quite the thing. And we actually went around and looked at some different places.
Yeah, we had several options, and that's what it is. Like, you're looking at our options and looking at what the budget is for each of those options and what's going to fit in this application. When you walk in, usually an LED wall is stationary.
Yeah, not traveling down the
We're
road.
saying, hey, we want to put this on the front of a semi chassis. And they're like, what? Yes, we just want to roll down the road. But it does open up a lot of options for us, for our community, that we could be, boondocking out even like at the edge of the Badlands. I mean, how cool would that be to be able to do something out there?
Yeah.
All right, we got this harebrained idea. We're in Nashville, and we found this place called Pixelflex.
Nashville is a king of production companies.
Yeah, all the production stuff. So we were looking, I was like, if we're gonna look at an LED wall, let's just see if we can find some companies around. So Sheila found this little thing. We don't even know if we can walk in this building.
But just in case we get thrown out, we're taking
We don't know what we don't know.
Outdoor, we offer a couple of different cabinet sizes.
Okay.
And forgive us, Harry's.
You're fine.
Trying to get that fired up and going, and a couple of different pixel pitch options. So you guys are a little familiar with things, and I'll forgive me if I'm speaking things that you guys have already heard, but pixel pitch is the spacing that's in between the individual LED diodes from center point to center point. And that is usually based on the viewing distance. Screen size can play a role in that as well. The smaller the screen size, typically you want to move up in resolution to account for the lost resolution when downsizing. 8 foot by 8 foot viewing distances, it seems like, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, you're probably going to have maybe to 15 to 20 feet people would be away from that.
Yeah. I mean, because they have to be away from it anyway.
Yeah.
The way it's set up.
Just depends on the size of the crowd. Our average event is right now around 250 to 300 people. So
Gotcha.
they just however
just
many
kinda-
they swish out from
just,
there.
yeah, so, I got you.
How's that going to travel down the road, like through the roads of the United States?
Yep.
How's that gonna?
So you will need someone to create a structure for that.
Oh, yeah,
of
we
course.
realize that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like a housing.
And maybe even a suggestion would be to put some acrylic over it or something of that nature. Yeah.
Okay.
To help protect that some from debris, from rocks, hail.
I mean, if we're in the middle of a storm somewhere
Absolutely.
and the semi's not in front of it, we got to think about that.
So I would recommend in considering something like that to protect that. Absolutely.
Worst case scenario is the frame is always there and the pixel squares have to come out and be put in a case. And then when we need it for an event, we have to just snap them in the grid.
I mean, it sounds easy, just snap them in.
I think if that's the worst case, if it can't travel down the road, we could just take it apart.
Look at this.
This is our.
This is like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. This is like crazy.
This is a flex tour case with eight panels in it.
So you can put all of them in there.
There's no way.
Yeah, and if you were doing what are we saying, an 8 foot by 8 foot,
I would not put
that's
that in the RV. That would have to figure out how to fabricate it.
I'd have to fabricate something on the truck.
I want
that's a
to.
5 by 5, doing an 8 by 8.
That's 25. If it's 500 by 500, that's 25 tiles,
Correct.
which makes it 4 plus 1.
4, yeah.
How many of those?
8. It would be 4 of these cases
4 of those cases.
plus
Correct.
1 empty tile. Let me get just my.
Are you going to just come travel with us? Can you bring it?
So my brain is throw out all the data and then
Right.
make your choice.
Right. I love that. I love options.
Another
does love
data point
options.
for you is if you case it, you're making those connections every time you plug it in. Those pass-through connectors are only rated for a certain number of connections.
Meaning, if you plug it, unplug it, plug it, unplug it, unplug it, unplug it, it's like
Eventually it's worn
gonna
out.
fail.
You're wearing it out.
What do you think?
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah. But then you have, from that point, so you have like different items working in different opposing directions. So you've got an LED wall on a concert stage, and then you have to come inside and say, okay, what are those finishes? Now we've kind of come up with the ideas, and then you're like, okay, this finish goes with this, and then you had us going everywhere.
All right, what do you need, girl? Let's talk about tile.
Okay, so I laid out up
markers.
front. I laid out the tape thing of your, just to get the concept across on how you wanted your short walls done.
My shower walls?
Yes, your short shower walls with the big tile and then the two small pieces.
The hard part is going to come in when he lays that tile there, that centered one, and then it comes down, and then we're going to run into where I want that cutout. Because there's a cutout on that back wall on the...
Yeah, the cutout tile is...
The cutout
Cutout.
tile.
the cutout tile.
Opposite of your shower head.
Same as the shower head.
Oh, below
Yeah,
the shower head.
she's taking, if I understood right, you're taking the big center piece out for yours and putting the cutout in there where the shower head is.
Yep.
And then, yeah, she
and
also
so,
wants the...
so then that'll be black all the way
Right.
around, and that should be the same tile that's the backsplash on the behind this vanity.
And you're okay with setting
This.
cutout being like this deep, right? That's what you're gonna get.
How do I put a shampoo bottle on there, Josh? You
The
drink,
wall.
you put shampoo in a bottle like that?
The wall is this total.
I thought when you told me since it was going on the toilet wall, then that one has more depth on
Right.
that wall.
Because on the outside wall, impossible.
Right?
On the inside wall, possible.
But still only 2
but
inches?
Yeah. The wall is only 4 1/4, 4 1/2. So you gotta have at least some sort of layer.
Yeah, it's
You
not a
gotta have
house.
3/4 for the other side, so you can have a painted wall. And then you gotta have your tile, which is probably 1/4 inch thick.
So really, it would only
So
be 2 inches.
3 inches maybe.
And let me tell you something. Every half inch matters.
It would only
So
be 2 inches.
3 inches maybe. Actually,
So
probably like 3.
Inches matter in this regard.
Yeah,
In
because
this-
3 inches is
It's almost possible.
But if you get your Tresemme big shampoo bottles, that ain't gonna work. Those are like
Nobody uses Tresemme anymore.
okay. If you use your purple Aussie,
whatever.
alright.
So we need to build shower bottles in rectangles instead of circles.
Yes, I don't know why they haven't come up with that.
Yeah, that would make
Or
more
what
sense.
if you just
Yes.
do your little shower cutout and then have like a little another thing like a basket or something that like attaches to it so it has a
It's on. You have it on tape.
I have it taped on the floor.
Let's go look at it.
The concept.
So this is centered,
Yes,
Yep.
that'll be centered and that'll be down your...
and just stack it.
Yep.
Yep.
All the
stack
way
it.
down.
All the way down. Yep. I think that's the way we want to go.
Okay.
Okay.
what is that?
This is the shower wall. Can't you tell?
No. That's the shower?
Yeah. This is because here's the problem. I wanted it actually tiled on the vertical, but then when you do that, if we tile it on the vertical, you only get
2 full tiles.
2 full tiles, and then a
partial, yeah. What is it?
6
inch
maybe
piece. It's
6
not even a
inch.
half inch or a half a tile.
that?
So no, if we
the
did
other-
it vertically.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well then I don't know that two going this direction is going to look weird. So I think this will look more
Yeah, doing it
streamlined.
horizontal.
What do you think? Do you care about horizontal, vertical?
Are these the same color tile? See, I would put the outside ones as a different color, so it'd be like racing stripes. That's pretty cool.
Are you still single?
Yes.
Yes, lady. He's still single.
Ladies, this is Josh.
And then you're like, okay, this finish goes with this. And then you had us going everywhere. You guys, it was everywhere to look at different options.
Well, since this project is going to take a whole year, there's many states and every state has different stores.
Oh, yeah.
Different options. I like options.
I think we did tile shops in different states. We did 𝗏𝗏𝗃 in different states. I don't even know, hinges, pulls.
Well, yes, you think about everything from, okay, yeah, it's great to think about the appliances that you want to use, or we need the big pieces like the LED wall and all those, but you've got to get down all the way into the pulls for the doors. The little details. It all needs to coordinate. Because the little details, that's what makes a difference.
It's multi-width versus one width all the time. Do you have a preference?
No, I don't have a preference. I don't have any preferences.
You're being super thoughtful.
I really don't.
You're very
I don't have any preferences. I wish I did. I do. I wish I did.
Thanks for your help, babe. I think this would look sharp.
Here's the thing. Here's my opinion. I'm not a fan of anything golden like this. I'm not a golden fan. So the answer is yes, I would like this more than that.
I'm good with that. Let me put this one back. Grab one of those, would you?
See, I have opinions, people. You want to make this like an inspiration board.
Well, not these. We need to make an inspiration board so we can make sure our design all flows together.
Yeah, you get on that inspiration board.
Look at that. Okay.
Okay, focus. Focus, Sheila. Focus.
Behind like this would look good behind the fireplace, like a fireplace wall accent. I like that. It's got the colors in it. It's got texture. It's got movement. I like that. You mean focus? I am focused.
The question comes is, how do you even get to a place where you decide what you want?
There's a lot of options.
It gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then we have to agree. That's like the next hardest part.
I'm very agreeable.
Yes. That's correct.
Except things like this. I hate this. I don't want a fish bowl on the wall.
All right, well, we won't go with that.
No fish bowls.
Okay.
We're still trying to narrow down this 𝗏𝗃 thing. You have it narrowed down? Now we're trying to figure out if this cushion thing is going to work for what she's thinking.
Well, I love the fact that we have.
I know. It's a module. It gives you all the options.
And I like options.
This is the down, so it has animal feathers.
Okay.
This is the standard, the firmest again, and then this one is the down alternative. So the 𝗏𝗃.
Okay. So this one.
This is like Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Yes, it is. There's quite a big difference between the two, so I'm glad you came in to try.
Is that going to work?
To make it go 35.
This is just
So would we have this then against the wall?
Yes. This would be there'd be no arm.
I know.
Okay. But you'd have to do a back. Well, I guess you could just do
Do
this.
a pillow. Or whatever that is.
It's a cushion.
Cushion.
Well, it comes with the seat. So a seat set is considered your base, your cushion, and your back pillow. So
but
whether you're
if we
using
wanted it as an ottoman, if we're going to use it as an ottoman.
Yep, it'll still come with the back pillow
Okay,
because the ottomans are just seats in disguise.
Okay.
Just in case you want to pull it into your formation, what you can do with the back pillow.
Just hide
This is
it.
what we do with it. And it'll come with this. So you
Okay,
just put
now
it
it's starting to
underneath
become, yeah.
for when you want to entertain and you need the ottoman to be an actual seat.
Nobody showed us that. In the other two 𝗏𝗃 stores we've been to in different parts of the United States,
It's
nobody's.
just if you're meant to come into to my shoulder.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Even the countertops. If you were going to get a countertop, what kind of countertop would you put in this?
I started with quartz. No.
What did you start with?
I started with granite. That's where I wanted to start. And then I saw this piece of quartzite that I fell in love with. And I was like, ooh, I really like that quartzite. Because we're not talking oodles of it. I mean, it's a small space, so it's not going to be as expensive like when you redo your kitchen at your house. Like, it's a small space. However, traveling down the road, it just isn't going to travel as well. So we landed on quartz, but I still fell in love with these quartz ones that can match oh, it's pretty. I'm so excited to see that come together.
That's all she talks about. I can't wait for the countertops.
Yes.
The countertops. I'm like, okay, I'm excited about the countertops too.
But the color of the countertop is integrated all throughout the RV into little bits and pieces.
I was not aware of this.
Yes, you didn't know, did you? And then we're going to add a pop of color, and it's going to be green.
Okay.
Green.
But I did see a TikTok.
Oh, brother.
And that was the resin tables.
Oh, yes.
And so I don't know how that's going to turn out, but Sheila appeased me and she said, okay, we can do one of those resin wood tables.
Because it has the wood element.
But it's months away for them to ship it to us from Canada.
Right. It has to be made first. You got to lay it out, choose the wood. It's still another, 14 pieces to make that happen.
But will it integrate into your color design? I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It might look a little too modern in my transitional style, but we'll see.
Oh, you thought we were done. Sheila, we're not done, are we? I mean, we have all of our colors lined out, but we're going another place.
We got tile still to figure out.
We just did all this tile.
Well, we're missing two. We're missing two, and we need a countertop.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go.
You just thought it was just this just continues. Like, this will be months of picking out things.
We don't got months. We gotta hurry.
We got weeks.
It's got the browns, the creams, the grays, even black. So it'd pull all of those colors that we're working with in that. But it's marble. So the disadvantage of marble is it's going to get, it gets etches in it. So it's just not as durable. That's why I was leaning towards the quartzite. It's not going to etch like marble does. So I think we should look at the quartzite.
What are you doing? You're back to this?
I like this piece.
So now I need to compare. I've narrowed it down to 2. You can help me decide from there. Because I know you don't like 1,000 choices, so I'm going to give you 2. A.
No, it's not fair.
It's not fair because it's 2 different complete styles, 2 different complete feels. So it's not actually narrowed down to 2 choices. It's more narrowed down to I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, I like this. It just comes down to what are you gonna want the kitchen to feel like? I mean, it depends on how you're gonna make the island. It depends on, I don't know. It's definitely more gray than I remember when last time we were walking around over here.
I think something that was extremely important to me, even in the countertops, is I didn't want, I wanted everything to be matte or satin finish, not this shiny. And one of the things in the spacecraft is that ceiling is very shiny. It's a fiberglass ceiling, and I was like, is there any way that we can have that not be as shiny? And I understand why it is.
Yeah.
I just didn't want shiny objects.
And so it did become this major debate because there was only a couple options prior to this. In every one of the spacecraft videos that we've done up until this point, all the ceilings were kind of the same. And so Sheila was bound and determined to go, Greg, we're gonna find another way to do this.
And Greg did a great job helping me like figure that out. Okay, he's like, okay, well, these are some options. We can sand this. We can do
Deglosser. You
the
can
gloss.
sand. Yeah,
like all. What are all the choices? And then we landed on one that I think is going to work, and we're going to end up painting it.
That's what we think.
Well, we are. We're going to paint it. Now, how that's all going to turn out, I don't know, but we are going to paint it because that'll give us that flat
satiny look.
Yeah, because my countertops are satiny. In case you didn't know, I'm excited about those.
Oh gosh.
So we did some samples.
Okay, I'm ready.
We did some testing. Let's see, this one here I kind of wrote up there. It's 50 grit and 80 sandpaper and 180. And this is primer and paint here. And this is just primer with the 50, 80, and 180.
Okay.
This is 50 plus sanded with white latex paint on it. This is just 320 sandpaper and 800, and it is just sanded. Our suggestion is paint. And the reason I say
Primer paint or just paint?
Primer paint.
Primer paint?
the thing with just sanding is that
We'll get some
you
light
can
on
see
it.
a little bit of gloss coming through.
Well, and it's all going to depend on the...
And you wipe it off, and then more will come through because of the...
It's about the overall finishes. We really liked the square windows that we saw at the Tampa show that came out on a manufacturer, and we wanted those. And we called around. You couldn't find square windows anywhere. We even stopped in a place in Elkhart and asked them, hey, would you make us square windows? And they actually looked at us like we're freakazoids or something. I get that look a lot, actually, when I think about it. But we did find a way that we found out that the square windows could be ordered, and we're probably one of the first RVs to incorporate the square windows
outside of that manufacturer. Yeah, there's a certain amount of time I think that's like they get first to market with something like that. And so Greg and the team really did a great job of kind of tracking them down for us, because that was something like we really wanted those windows, because again, it comes back to that straight, clean line that I'm about.
What happened though, we were so excited about the square windows, and you said, I've got some good news, because you gave me some good news about square windows, but along with that came some bad news.
Yeah. You take the good, you take the bad.
You take them both, and there you have facts of life.
You're such an 80s child.
I am an 80s kid.
There you have the facts of life. The facts of life.
Okay, I gotta tell you something.
You're gonna tell me something?
Yep.
I think I need the camera.
No. I want to see how it's gonna be. So while I was out today looking at doing some shopping, I got a phone call from the spacecraft team. So,
Does this get bad, or?
Well, something's not going to work like we thought it was going to.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean?
What's not?
Let me tell you the good news. I think we're going to be able to do the windows that we want to do.
Oh, are you serious? So he was able to,
He
sorry.
thinks that that's going to...
Did he talk to them?
He's just waiting to hear back from him, but he doesn't think that it's going to be a problem. So I think we're going to be able to do the windows we want. So that's good news.
What's the bad news?
Well, we have hit a time crunch.
Yeah, we've hit a massive time crunch because we were supposed to start over 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then everything got pushed.
Don't go on a tangent.
Well, yeah, because we're going to be homeless if it doesn't get to, like, if we don't start speeding up.
Okay, well, we have to figure out we've got 2 days to figure out something.
Oh, I don't like that.
The patio door. The side patio door. Now, I don't even know how to break this news to you.
In our, I guess, transitional design look with the straight lines, I really liked these bifold doors that they just kind of fold, brings that outside in. Wanted to see if there was possibility of being able to utilize those with the ramp doors.
That's why there was such an issue.
Yeah, you put those patio doors down, and then if those bifold doors are going to stack, okay, well that's going to change the depth of how far the ramp doors need to come in to be able to close. Like, it's a whole deal.
So what we could do is the patio door, we were thinking on the back, with possibly seeing if we can get the railing that we like on the back.
Yes.
The side patio, because of how far that
I knew this was going to be an issue.
How far that's going to
I said it was going to be an issue, and I was laughed at saying that I wasn't thinking it through.
Okay, that's not the only issue. When the patio door that we thought we were going to use is very flimsy feeling, and so the team thinks that we would need to add additional leg support, but it bows, like they watched it bows when somebody stands on it. I know you're not a huge fan of.
Are you saying the one with the spring?
He's like, it's all aluminum, so we don't have the issue with the.
It's got a spring.
It does have a spring.
Then he has to find a way to cover the spring.
Why can't we just paint the spring? So he sent me some pictures, but he's like, it's just a sturdy, solid, it's aluminum door. It's just stronger. It's a stronger door. Now we could do the other one, the zero gravity on the back side, if you want, but that's still going to be flimsy.
Are they waterproof?
Nothing is waterproof. They're water resistant.
We do feel like it'll create a lot of light coming into the main living space, which we're excited about.
Yeah, and to be able to make that happen though, the team at Spacecraft had to figure out, okay, how far back do we have to set your ramp doors into the RV so that the door can fold up into the trailer and be able to still have room for those doors to be. It was a whole ordeal.
Remember I told you that we get to get the windows?
So this would go in with the custom
I like
mattress,
that.
essentially.
That's a cool toy. You'd spend hours on that, dear.
Yeah, it's a good thing I don't know how.
And then when your bed goes up,
look at that.
Into the slide. This is essentially made to look like a door or something like this.
Right.
It's just not in here.
And we thought that their design on the Murphy bed originally was going to work, but now we've had to kind of change that up a little bit as well. So we're trying to decide, are we building one? Are we getting a kit? Or how that all is going to integrate?
One of the things that is important, like that Murphy bed, obviously it's going to be used when we have guests come over. So instead of just having this blank space that's only used every once in a while, what I want is to have some sort of a desk component on the outside of that Murphy bed. So that would be my desk area. And then it'll just fold up against there, that when we need it as a bed, so it's a dual purpose. It'll be in my office and a bed.
Now it gives a full-size bed on the back, a queen-size bed if we have the love sack, and then our bedroom. So it gives 3 different living configurations. But in everyday use, I think that the way you're designing that's going to work out great, because then she has a bifold door in the back, and so she could sit at the desk and look out as I'm editing at the other desk.
Right, and sometimes when you're editing, it's very...
Don't say that. Don't tell them.
It's very...
It's not annoying.
You listen to the same sound over and over and over again, over and over. So then I can just shut the door. There's a pocket door right there. Zoop.
Yep.
And I'll have the outside. I'll be
You
great.
just zoop it.
I
You just zoop it shut.
Just zooped him shut.
Hey, yeah, I wanna shoot, baby.
We do realize that depending upon what's available, and as I'm thinking, oh, this is what I want to purchase, and this will work, and this will work, all the little things, like when the slides come in, well, maybe I can't use these, what are those? the knobs on cabinets or something
They're pinchers.
because they go up, maybe they're too long. Like there might be some areas that I have to change along the way, or maybe something isn't available. I realize that, but as a whole, we've went shopping for our pieces. Now it's just time to start putting those pieces together.
Hopefully. Every time I turned around, you were having discussions about, well, is this going to be in stock? How long does it take to order? Lead time? There's so many things that have to be accounted for through this whole thing.
Well, and if something comes in and I don't like it, well, then what?
Yeah, then that question of sending it back, or if it comes in damaged, you have to order it again.
Right. And we have a time crunch. Like they're not moving the Tampa RV show if our rig's
they
not
wouldn't do
done.
that for us. No.
Like it's just not going to happen. So we have to meet that deadline. And if you have to make a different choice because this is what the product that is available, then I realize that that's going to be the situation.
As you can see, the attention to detail needed when building an RV of this magnitude is essential. More importantly, though, is the attention to detail that is felt by so many within this community.
Switch It Up is so much more than just events. Our focus is all about building community and bringing people together.
Now, the elephant in the room, that's what I call this, is how is Switch It Up going to pay for such a thing? And you've made it through basically enduring these first 3 or 4 episodes, and you're like, okay, I just gotta know. How did you come up with this? And this was probably the toughest thing, but there was a lot of little intricacies that happened, but it came down to, I think, Sheila, when we actually started sharing. We come up with this idea that we would share with possible sponsorships. We've never really asked for sponsorships. We've worked with a few different brands, and we thought, this is a year-long thing. It's not like going to be something that's short. So we didn't want to just make one video. We wanted to be able to bring value to you as you were watching, and we wanted to bring value to the community so they could see what this could look like for all of us, as we traveled. And those partnerships became pretty important. But how do you do that? I mean, that was the question we kind of had to answer.
Well, the good thing is over the last several years, we've met different people, met different brand representatives, met different brands that we know that, okay, we're like-minded, or we really like this individual and the business that they're building, and we've been able to start forming those relationships. And so we just kind of started pitching this, hey, this is what we're thinking. Would you like to come on this journey with us and support what we're doing, where this is heading, to make an impact in our community, being able to provide a rolling event venue, basically, to bring community and innovation of different brands together. We would love to see if that'd be a possibility. And there were many brand sponsors that were like, yes, this sounds like a great idea, let's give it a shot. And so we're so thankful for those brands that
absolutely
see the vision, they see the mission, they see where we're headed, and they want to be a part of it. So over the next year, you'll see us working with them, and it's just a collective group effort to be able to have this amazing spacecraft being built and bring value to you through some amazing brand partnerships.
Yeah, super excited. It started with the trickle of Greg kind of planting the seed, saying, hey, I think you guys ought to do this. To him, we're being very transparent to him, saying, bro, we would love to do this, but we know
this is not in our budget.
And he was like, nope, I really think we need to figure out a way. So Greg, and then after he said that, we had these amazing, we sent out a video sharing the vision, and then like you said, the partnerships started saying, we want to help, we want to support, and how does this work? So that came into the 10 episode series you're watching now, that you're helping support by watching. So leave a comment, hit the like button, do all the YouTube-y things. But then it also came down to how could those partnerships, how could they give back to the community and have some sort of input and getting from you? So that came from like the different items that we've done along this journey, from giveaways to whatever else has happened.
Yeah, I think
we don't have it all figured out right now, but we're working on it.
Well, I think it's because there's brand partners that are like, they see the value, and so they're going to roll the dice with us and go on this journey together.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So we'll see how it shakes out as we're sitting here. It's all like we're taking one step leap of faith at a time, and so far so good. Everything's going. I know there's going to be hiccups. I know things are not going to roll out smoothly. That's just the way this whole thing goes. But it's such a fun ride, and we are going to do something very unique in the RV space.
Well, and it's just the beginning. That like, we've been on the road 3 years, but like this whole spacecraft, this whole documentary, these relationship with our brand sponsors, that is like, this is just the beginning of the next chapter, and I'm excited to see where it takes us.
So, saying that, get ready. Next episode's coming. I have a feeling we're going to have some challenges. But it'll be all right?
What's the worst that can happen?
Okay, let's just